magical time, probably about 11 or 12, where I knew this was what I would do. I mean, it's always what I wanted to do, but then there came that point that I knew this was what I would do. And it was about 11 or 12, and I remember standing on the porch of our little church with a stick in my hand, and there was a wheat field across the road. And I saw that wheat field as people. And that was the first time I really saw myself singing to a lot of people. He came out after a little while and just told my dad, "I'm sorry, but there's no way your baby can live. Her lungs are underdeveloped, and to put it simple, when it hurts a baby to do something, after a while, they'll just simply quit doing it. They don't have ability to know that that's what's keeping them alive." And he said, so in a few hours, she'll just simply quit breathing. And told my dad that my mom would die because she had hemorrhaged so severely. And my mom was O negative blood, and there was no way they could get blood quick enough at a small town like that in the middle of nowhere that she would live also. And my dad went back to the nursery, and they had laid me in the incubator. And Dad just said, you know, God, that's my baby in there, and I believe that if it's your will, that she could be a great witness for you. And so he prayed over me, and God, he said he felt like God spoke to his heart, you know, whether it's audible voice or anything like that, it's just that still small voice in your heart. And he said, felt like God told him instantly, I'm going to give your wife and your baby back to you. And by the next morning, we were both doing pretty much okay. My dad always told me, you'll be a great witness for God. You know, this is something that you can tell people and be an example of what God can do, the miracles God can do. But when I sang as little, I was just loud. And my sisters and brothers would get so mad. And they're like, oh, can you please just make her shut up for a while? Because I never quit. And my parents didn't think I'd ever be able to sing because I didn't really carry a tune. I was just loud, just one volume. And so it happened about 12 years old, because I was always singing in church and singing around the house. But I started singing with another little group, and there was an elderly lady in the church, Sister Hampton, Esther Hampton, and she began to help me to develop the gift. And she would take me to all the little small churches around, and she began to teach me how to sing harmony. And through that, I began really developing a voice. And so I'll never forget, it was about 12 years old, and me and my two girlfriends got up and sang in church, and my mom kind of went, whoa, wait a minute, she might really have a gift here. And so then Mom began to work with us, and so that's how it kind of developed. Probably some of the most rewarding things for me is when I get to do some of the women's conferences that I do. I love that because it's so much more than just singing. I get to actually talk to them and then include the singing in that, and I love that. I love watching their kind of the light come on in their eyes, and as you walk through some stuff in your own life and you're able to share that with somebody else, and watching, in other words, okay, somebody else has been there too. That whole realization thing, I love. That's some of my favorite things to do.
Her music, her voice is something that she uses to reach into the broken places of people's lives, and they connect with her even when they don't have words to express what's going on. They really just resonate with her music, and so I just know that it's really a God-given gift, and it's something that she uses to bring healing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
It was actually kind of bizarre. They came to Bakersfield, you know, for a preseason game, and I heard they were doing tryouts because I'd sang a couple times for the Condors, and the lady there had told me and told me when it was, and I didn't think anything about that. I'm not going to go. There'll be so many people down there. It's just crazy. And the day of the game, I thought, I'm just going to run by and see how many people's there. And I run by, and I'm totally cashed out. I've just got a baseball cap on, no makeup, no nothing. And so I go in there, and there's one other guy in there, and that was it. And there was nobody else waiting. And so I said, are you still doing tryouts? And they're like, yeah. And they hand me the mic, and I sing it
And then I turned around and they said, Kate, could you be here at 6:30? And I'm like, yeah. And so I just go to fill out the paperwork like I saw the other guy do. And they said, no, we don't need that. Can you be here at 6:30? And I'm like, oh, you mean I get to do it? And they're like, yeah. And so I went and sang it here in Bakersfield, and then Lisa from the Lakers heard me sing it and then asked me if I would come down and do it there. And I've been doing it ever since for 11 years now.
I knew that it would take us moving to Nashville, you know, to really pursue that. And with James here at the church and my boys here, I knew if I was gone, I would, for one thing, wouldn't be able to be a part of this body the way that I wanted to do and the way I felt like I was supposed to. But most importantly, I knew there wouldn't be the constant in my boy's life. And I remember early on when I decided to get married so young, that I said, God, if there's anything, even the music, if it will cost me my family, then I don't want it, because I want my family. And I feel like, I mean, I'm reaping so much through what my boys do, and I believe they will have a lot of what maybe I wanted to have, but I don't miss it now, if that makes sense. It's funny because the other day I was driving down after we had talked. I was driving up the mountain and driving through that canyon, and I just felt like God spoke to my heart and said, you know, would you trade it, Lydia? Would you trade what you have now for that? And I said, absolutely not. I love where I'm at. I love where my life's at. I love the people that I get to be involved with, that I get to be a part of their lives. I wouldn't have had that had I been in the traveling scene and concerts here and there. I don't get to be a part of their everyday life and watch the growth happen. Right. And I wouldn't trade that if I had the career. It can't be sweeter than this.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God.